chain of game. When the QB chain birth most of chains in the game. No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies. Family size, leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know a way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tape.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
I'm one. Ready? 11.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now second and 4.
11.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Here we go.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
The question for Mixon was after an injury-riddled 2020, would he be back to his old self in 2021? And not only was he back, he was even better. He set career highs across the board, finished top 4 league-wide in yardage and touchdowns.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action, it's Burrow. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
On one, right?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
11, mighty. 12.
Here's Burrow. He sets to fire deep. That's caught at the 25. And he will go out of bounds down at the 15-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Now it's Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by Jake. And right away, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one. And what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he loses the football a second time. And the Bengals grab it. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chance. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. First and 10. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. McPherson on for the point after. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And so far, in terms of putting points on the scoreboard, it's been defense 2, offense nothing. But they'll have a chance to put together a first scoring drive this go-around. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
Second and 6 at the 29-yard line.
Jackson. Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Devin Duvernay came into the NFL with the reputation of being a playmaker, and he lived up to it in 2021. All-pro return man, led the league in punt return average. Baltimore wants to get that.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blower out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, next-gen stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 11. Once again, they run with Mixon. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Here we go. Here we go. 11.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
12. 11, Thomas.
Now it's Burrow. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Burrow looking to pass. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
With that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. The Ravens at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they come in off a disappointment last time out. That put an end to their modest 3-game win streak.
And they were shut out last week as well, so you have to wonder what their mindset will be coming into this one. Personally, I think that they put that one behind them, and they're ready to move on.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Marty, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. To throw is Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, You might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. A 2nd and 11 from the 19.
11, paint. 11.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Gun. Stop. 11, MT, tank. 11, MT, tank. 11.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Returnable here from the 38. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw again on 2nd down, Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So first thing crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson forced out to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll move him back within 6 now. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Here we go.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Here's McPherson now to send it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taylor now returning it. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
And a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 11
mighty. 11 empty.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
11.
They go play action with Burrow. And that will be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here. A little bit of a snag. Punts on back to taking it right down Broadway. He's at the 40, the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now to add the point after. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick six.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
23 yards, the final tally.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
11 empty.
Mixon with a first down carry, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. 55 rushing yards, rushing on 12 carries for him now.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
12.
Now Burrow. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Jamar Chase, 35 yards. And the Bengals have come back to make it a 2-point game. And Burrow's going to look to throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Patrick Queen.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on here.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Sit on! Yeah.
Jackson from the shotgun. He finds Bateman over the middle. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Their own 34-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Mixing up the middle. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 70 yards rushing here for Mixon. He's got a 1st down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Close.
On the Jets sweep, here's Chase. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Burrow. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tyus Bowser able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a second and short.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
13.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. Throwing out left and finding Likely. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Well, hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Jackson. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's fourth.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to get the lead up to 4. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the side.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Jackson going to give this one to Ed. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, meaning taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, have your fun? All right.
Throwing out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Burrow. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. 11. 11 Thomas.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And now here's another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed in intermission. They come out, they have the big 2nd half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the 2nd half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Ravens, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week.
for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.